The opinions expressed on the radio program by the hosts, co hosts, guests, and call in listeners or chatters are solely the opinions and responsibility of the original source who expressed them. They do not necessarily represent the opinions of Genesis Radio, www.genesisradio.com, Genesis Radio's owners, management, or affiliates.
All right. Good evening. Here we are back at GenesisRadio.com. We hope you enjoy what we getting ready to lay down and throw down at you. Here we are at the Politricking Show. I almost started to talk about the other show. You know, last week I watched you on Thursday, and you were with Roman.
That was an older show we had done.
Okay, it was.
Yeah, that was an older show.
You just decided to revive it.
Well, yeah, last Thursday then we had the bad weather come in.
Oh, okay.
And TP couldn't make it.
I'll tell you, it was a pretty good show. I did enjoy it.
Oh, well, good. I'm glad you did.
Okay, for the viewing audience, thank you for tuning in to This is Politricking. My name is Kendall Stevenson, and I'm here with Dr. Ronald Yates.
Hello, everyone.
Every week, we usually start this off by having something to be grateful for. Now, I've been explaining for weeks all the things that I've been grateful for, that 0.0008 in remission. So that's my thing that I've been grateful for. How's your week been, brother?
My week has been good, and I try to be grateful every day, because just the fact that we're able to sit here, somebody had to pay a price for that, right? Our ancestors.
You value that. The value, somebody's values up. On their phone, somebody's values up.
Your ancestors had to pay a heavy toll for us to be here, and so I have to be thankful every day that we are able to be here.
Well, this is Black History Month, as we would call it. To me, Black History is every day. So we should celebrate it every day. I brought a young man today. His name is Chandre, and he's an artist. So he's going to say hello to the people, and then we'll get into a little bit more about what he does a little later on. But we're going to let him chime in anyway. Brother.
How you doing today, y'all?
Doing all right. And you?
Today is a good day today. I woke up this morning.
So that's important.
I thank God for every day that He gives me. Been through a lot. And I appreciate y'all guys.
Right on. Always good to have a friend.
It's a blessing just to be here right now as we speak. For somebody to see me for who I am or whatever, to recognize me.
Now you're from New York, right?
Yes, sir.
New York. You saw what's happening down in New York? Mayor Adams?
Yeah. I was just reading a little bit about Mayor Adams, and
you think he's gonna walk?
No, I think he's going to try to remain in office as long as he can. I think that eventually enough pressure may be put on Governor Hochul to remove him from office.
I think that pressure's already being put on her already, because he's like, doesn't really know what to do at the moment.
Well, I think her situation is that I think it's the optics of removing a black mayor, right, of the largest city in America, right? What are the optics? But I think the overarching issue is how long can she allow him to remain in when he's such a distraction?
Well, they didn't seem to have a problem removing Mayor Dinkins.
Well, Mayor Dinkins served his term, right? He was just defeated in the second run by Giuliani, right? And I don't even want to talk about him. But in terms of Eric Adams, he's in a very tight situation. Either he's going to be removed by Governor Hochul, or he's got these charges hanging over his head. Now, they were dismissed but without prejudice, which means those charges can be reinstated if he does not allow ICE into places like Rikers Island and some of these other areas in the city where they want to do these mass raids and roundups. Some of these people now are being sent to Guantanamo. It's insane that But this is what it's come to in this country.
But isn't that like dangling the carrot in front of his face? Because it's not like he's getting. It's like he's got promises, but nothing substantial. And he's going to give up all of this good stuff. He's going to let these people come in, let them do all these things, but he's not getting anything written and guaranteed yet. He's going to agree to it and roll with it.
You know, when you get in bed with the devil, there are no guarantees.
That's true,
right?
No, there is one. He's going to take your soul.
Well, okay. And that's exactly what's happened to Mayor Adams and the list of others who have gotten in bed with the devil.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but you say you're an artist?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
What sort of artist?
I make music from my lifestyle, how
Okay.
I grew up,
Okay.
things that I've seen. It's not that I'm trying to fit in with anyone or follow a leader. I'm my own leader.
So you're from New York.
Yes, sir.
Where in New York?
I'm from Troy.
Oh, upstate New York.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay.
St. Mary's Hospital I was born in.
In Troy.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Because I know there's St. Mary's Hospital in Brooklyn. Because
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I'm from Brooklyn.
I'm from
I've
Brooklyn.
been
Right.
too. I've been both places.
Yeah.
I've been to Brooklyn.
Yeah,
Okay.
most of us are
But
here.
I'm from you know Albany, New York.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. I've been there.
Y'all know Doyle Middle was where I went to. Doyle Middle, St. Mary's, upstate New York a little bit,
Okay.
Troy.
Okay.
So how is this economy affecting you? Are you able to pick up work, or is it making it more harder? Or are you struggling a little bit with it? I mean, we got higher gas prices. We got
Yes.
higher food prices.
Yes.
It was promises made, but no promises kept so far. It just seems like we're just getting deeper and deeper in the whole side of management.
I tell you like this. I'm 42 years old, man. I've seen a lot of bad things, a lot of good things. So I know how to manage my money when I do have it. And I make music, so I get paid from my sites that it's on. Every view, I get paid from it.
Okay.
So I'm okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then, my lady, she do her thing too. So we both okay.
Well, at least we don't have to worry about Elon Musk coming knocking on the door. But
No.
I don't know. I don't know, bro.
That's someone to buy something.
You know what I mean? They don't care if you're American or not. Right?
But now let me ask you something. And I saw something the other day, and it was actually it might have been today or yesterday. Days all run together. There was a Caucasian gentleman on, and he was talking about there seems to be an almost systematic attack on rappers.
Okay.
People who are celebrities within the Black community. I mean, just think about it. Within the last couple of years, R. Kelly,
Yeah.
right? P.
Yeah.
Diddy, right? And what's happening
Bill
with P.
Cosby.
Diddy, Bill Cosby, and the list goes on and on,
Keep
right?
going.
So, I mean, what's the future look like for the rap game?
Bad. I'm gonna be honest with you. It looked really bad because the situation is these young guys that's not born in the 80s or the 70s,
Mhm.
they look at rappers killing each other.
Right.
They want to kill their family members and their brothers and their friends and everybody involved with my music or rap is how I grew up and the things that I've seen, and a replication of the things I've been through in my life.
Mhm.
Not putting somebody in the trunk and taking them away and killing them from their mom and father and kids.
Mhm.
So I don't look at it like that. But the new generation now is messed up. The rap game is not what it was back then.
So, do you consider yourself to be a conscious rapper?
Yes, sir.
What is that? KRS-One along that line?
You can go back to like LOX Locks back in the 1999.
The Roots.
Yeah, AZ,
Mhm.
Nas, Locks. Back in the day. Let's go back, take it back a little bit.
Yeah, but every, like I was telling you before, every generation has to either fight for something or fight to keep something.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it's no different here. If they're gonna want something, if they're gonna want a future, no matter how hard it's coming down the pipe, They're gonna have to fight for it.
Well, I think the difference is like in your case, in your case, the fight is over, I guess, content, right? See, I grew up when the first so-called rap album was released.
Yeah.
See, I remember listening to the Sugar Hill Gang. I remember Sugar Hill Records, right?
Love it.
Okay. So during that time, there was no talk. There were no rappers who were talking about violence, who were talking about drugs, right? Well, somewhere in the 80s, the messaging began to change, right?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, rap now became gangster rap. And this gangster, the gangster part of it didn't come from the streets. That came from the studios, from the record executives, right?
Yep.
They wanted to put out a different message, right? They wanted to change the thinking of the young men and women who were coming up in the rap game. And I read something interesting. I'm reading a book now about the CIA. And one of the things that the CIA wanted to do, along with other government officials, namely Henry Kissinger, they talked about population reduction, drastic population reduction. So if that is your ultimate goal, and you tell young men, hey, listen, I don't want you to rap about the love of a woman anymore. How about you rap about the hate of a woman? How about you rap about the amount of money you can make selling drugs in your community?
Like reverse psychology or something?
Well, but you know what? If you repeat something often enough, it becomes truth, it becomes reality.
Yeah.
And we have so many rappers that replicated what they did on the street. Or you have people like Rick Ross, right? Who took the life of the actual Rick Ross and said, oh, I did all this stuff. You know, the Rick Ross, the rapper, was a corrections officer. What do you know about the street selling drugs? What do you know about moving weight in South Central? Right?
And he doesn't even have a police record.
Right. So the thing is that the attraction was so strong to the rap game that he was willing to create this persona that I'm a thug, right? That's what I need to be in order to make some money in this game.
I told my man he needs to be like the spook who sat by the door. That's how he needs to be more like that.
That's probably way before his time.
Oh yeah, I know it's way.
Yeah.
Who?
I was trying to introduce it to her earlier.
Who was it?
There was a movie called The Spook Who Sat by the Door. Right?
Yeah. I was telling him.
I've seen it. This movie came out in 1973, brother. You wasn't thought of yet.
Yeah.
83, I was born.
No, 70. This came out 10 years before you were born.
Yeah.
I remember seeing it in the movie.
Word?
So what it was about was the first black CIA agent.
Yeah.
Right? He went to learn the works of the CIA, and then he came back to the hood and was teaching the brothers and sisters how to overthrow the government. Right? So I guess his connotation is, you need to kind of sit back and watch and observe.
But that's not a good thing.
What's that?
Sit back and watch and observe?
Nah, that's a good thing.
Right.
But just the CIA, you get involved with them people and you're not on their level.
Well, what he wanted to learn was their inner working. So he could use it against them.
That's cool too.
Yeah.
But that's if you make it to that far.
Yeah, but he did. He was the top graduate.
He did.
So where is he at now today?
It was a fiction.
Well, it was an actual. It wasn't an actual story.
Yeah.
It was a fictional story that became a movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, it was a book for.
They wouldn't let that happen.
So that's the name of the spook of
the spook who sat by the door.
The spook
who sat by the door.
You got it.
We could do that in unison. Did you like that?
I'm gonna watch it tonight. Literally.
All right. Well,
I'm gonna watch it.
Well, I just say that to say that you yourself, and I always tell the young people, is that anybody and everybody can do something.
Yes.
So here we're living in the world right now. We're in a situation that we've been in before, because we spoke about this, that this is pretty much like the reconstruction rearing itself right back up again with that Confederate Southern strategy.
Yeah.
That is coming right back. But like just like back then, they were young people and they had to fight for what they wanted.
Well, I think that now, everything happens in cycles, right? For our generation, me,
We're not
Kendall,
the same-
Terry,
we're
myself,
in the same
right?
I'm
generation.
just listening.
We're in the same generation,
Yeah, we're
right?
close. We're close to the same.
So,
generation.
what's happening now, we have reached that age where,
She hanging in there.
it's like what Dr. King said, you got to pass the baton on to the next
She's
generation,
still
right?
here. She
And that's
ain't
brothers
going
like
She
you,
ain't going good.
right? Because
Right.
unfortunately, things have happened, and those things are going to affect you and your generation.
Yeah.
So when we went out into the job market, to the workplace, jobs came with pensions, came with health benefits, right? I used to work for the city of New York.
Yeah.
I was a paramedic, right? When
Good
I
job.
started, I was making $24,000 a year. But of that money, I was able to pay a mortgage, car note, everything, right?
Yeah.
Now, a dozen eggs is about $10.
Yeah, but I just want to let you know though,
Yeah.
even I was a part of that time period too, and if you didn't get a good union job, then you were no better off then than what you are now. I'm just telling you. I remember what was the minimum wage? $3.25 an hour.
$3.35.
So y'all both.
$3.35 an hour.
Mhm.
And if you didn't get a good city job, because those were pretty much the jobs that had a
Money was.
union. No, unions. You got to have a union because you need a negotiator, to someone to negotiate how much money you're going to make.
Yeah.
That's why when you're in a union, you see every time they have a new contract, you're getting a raise here or you're getting a raise there. See, that doesn't happen in a lot of other job situations.
Never been in that part.
Well, without a union, most of the time you gotta get what you can get.
And,
So-
and you know what? For your generation, I
Yeah.
think it's important for your generation and the folks coming along behind you. Yes, we got civil service jobs, right?
Yeah.
We went into the private sector.
Both of y'all.
No, I went.
He went to the private sector.
I went
right?
private sector.
I was actually a police officer, right? I retired, a few years
Where?
back,
What city?
9 years.
New York.
I was with Port Authority. That's New York and New Jersey.
Okay.
So I think what's important now is that for you and generations behind you to begin to own your own businesses.
Mm-hmm.
To take, I see a lot of
That's good.
I see a lot of
I like
rappers,
this.
right? Like Method Man, right?
Yeah.
No, not Method Man. Your brother, that's a comedian.
You got a couple of them.
Yeah.
Kevin Hart.
No, he's from Cleveland, and he and his wife are buying
David
up.
Chappelle.
Not Dave Chappelle. He's not from. He's from DC.
Kevin Hart?
Actually. Not Kevin Hart. He's from
Kevin
Philly.
Hart.
His name will come back to me.
What do you say? He's a comedian or
He's a
rapper?
comedian.
Desi
He
Banks.
was in House. He was in the movies with
Kid and
Ice
Play?
Cube.
Oh, Ice Cube.
Yeah.
Oh,
Friday.
the tall, skinny guy.
Tall,
Oh,
skinny
you
guy
talking about
that played
Mike Epps?
Day Day.
Yeah.
Mike Epps.
Oh,
Mike
Mike
Epps.
Epps.
Mike
Yeah.
Epps.
Mike
Yeah.
Epps
Mike
is
Epps.
He
buying
buying
up,
the hood.
Yes.
buying up the hood. He had
He
a
is.
show
Yes.
where he was buying up the hood.
Mhm.
Yep.
He's revitalizing the
His
hood.
neighborhood.
Right.
Where you from?
And that's what we
Need to
need
do.
to be doing.
Well,
right.
these are some of the things that we can do,
We could.
along with other things.
Yes.
But you always got to take the first step.
Yeah.
And like I always tell people, everybody can do something, but you got to get up off your ass and do something.
Right.
Fannie Lou Hamer. She
Who?
had a little Fannie Lou Hamer. She was a preacher back at one time, but
Yeah.
she had a little quote. She was a famous preacher, so I guess with Black History we can do that. She had a quote. She said, "You can pray until you faint, but if you don't get up off your ass and do something about it, God is not going to put it in your life." So it's good that we have these discussions, and I think it's very good. And I'm hoping that this generates something within the youth to maybe have them do a little bit more. We do have some young people out here that are doing their due. You met my daughter,
Mhm.
right? She's doing her due. My son doing his due, right? We're gonna have a young lady, Chantel Davis. she's coming in tomorrow, and she's doing her thing throughout the community.
So,
But we need more people to do a little bit more.
yep. Can I ask a few questions?
Sir,
All right. So, I'm here tonight, right?
well, I look good on TV.
You do? You're gonna look better when the views go up. So, all right. I'm here today.
Mhm.
I'm 42 years old, man.
Still a young man.
I'm trying.
Mm-hmm.
I promise. I've been through a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, God preserved me.
Mm-hmm.
I make music.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, the music these days, people want to talk about killing their own kin,
Mm-hmm.
everybody in their family, and everybody around them. I don't understand it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you have a problem with someone, that's different if you put it on the music CD or a song. But I got an album dropping on the 26th of February.
Oh, this month.
Yes. Oh, the
We're gonna get to that.
26th.
1 second. Thank you again for tuning in to Genesis Radio. This is Politricking. My name is Kendall Stevenson. I'm along here with Dr. Yates. If you guys want to give us a call, you want to chime in to the radio station, give us a call, 888-304-4401. That's 888-304-4401. Zero run. Did I say zero run?
You did.
Zero
I
one.
said zero run.
Yes.
We meant 01, baby.
Have another drink from the dog that bit you.
Uh-oh.
Because you need to be straightened out.
What's that?
The dog that bit you, man.
That's
Go on, man.
You might as well get you a shot.
Nah,
man.
brother, but that's one of the things I don't do. I don't do the
You don't
alcohol
drink?
thing. Nah, I don't do the alcohol thing.
Now, tell us a little bit more about your album.
Well, first tell us.
Okay.
So you don't go by the name of Chandre.
No.
So let's so people know
Who
who
I
you
am?
go by.
Let me start it from
Yeah,
how I started.
let's start with there. Let's
So I
talk
got 10
about-
minutes to explain it.
Go
Yeah,
right
you do.
ahead.
You got Kendall gonna shut up and let you talk.
Okay.
You got it.
All right. I'm gonna explain it all. All right. At age 2, I ate paint off the wall. I got lead poison. I was sick. Like, it made me swell up. I couldn't eat salt, no sodium. So my family didn't want to be around me so much at the age of 2. I was in and out the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the hospital for months at a time. So, by me coming out the hospital, I'm home with my family. I don't get to know them. I'm sick again. I go back to the hospital. So it's very seldom that I get to know my dad, my mom, my family members, because I'm in and out the hospital. While I'm in and out the hospital, the doctors is coming to me and we being accumulated with one another, and I'm start working for them. We like family now,
Mm-hmm.
but instead of my family, my real family, but the doctors are my family now. And literally, man, it hurt me still to this day because my family wasn't in my life like I'm supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Then, at 14 years old, I was starting to get in trouble. 13, 14, 15. I went to juvenile. I just turned 17. I went to juvenile. I went to the jailhouse, literally, like they moved me from the courthouse to the jail in Columbia, South Carolina, because my daddy cursed the judge out.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only reason why I went there. And, I did time for him. And, I think about it now, today, like he didn't have to disrespect that judge like that or threaten these people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to kill you. I know where he live at, but it affected me.
Right.
Now I'm in jail. Lock him up. They didn't even argue. Lock him up. You take him out of here. Then my dad, they take him out. They put me in jail, and I'm going to, SCDC in South Carolina. So when I was in juvenile, they said, "Oh, all your charges are piling up against you." So they put me into a straight timer. I did a month in juvenile. They took me out of there and put me back to court again for a straight timer because I was an adult. So all those charges that was juvenile, they faced me as an adult.
When you turned 18.
I was in jail. But yes, they took me out of the juvenile system and put me in the straight timer jail and charged those charges over to them.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't even know what's going on. But I know that I ain't going home right now. And
So
they try to give me 65 years.
Is that where the gifted gorilla came from?
Not right now.
Oh, okay.
Not right now. I'm still in the streets. So, I'm 17. They took this over to straight timer. Then I went to court. They try to give me 65 years.
65
At
years.
17 years of age. I was 17 years old. Try to give me 65 years. I called my dad from the county jail and I was like, they're trying to give me 65 years. Is that okay? I said, I should take it, right? He said, no, don't take that. You crazy. You never coming home again. Okay, cool. Didn't take it. Came with a second one, 25 years. This is real life. They tried to give me 25 years after 65 years. I was only 17, man. I'm in J. Reuben Long Detention Center in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Y'all know what that is?
I do.
Okay, cool. I'm there.
Mm-hmm.
Came with me again, 25 years. I called my dad. I said, I should take it, right? Because they're not going to give me, but I got a lot of charges. And I said, they're not going to give me but so much time, right? Don't take it. No. A week later, they came with 12. I took it. So I'm 17, about to turn 18. Now I'm going to prison, man. I went to prison like the next couple of weeks. 12-year sentence. I'm only 17, man. About to turn 18. I'm in jail now. I'm in prison, big time. Guys in here, murder charge.
Mm-hmm.
I've been through a lot. Just, you go to Kirkland R&E when you go to prison. That's the evaluation center. Like if you get a pair of socks, they're buying from you for like 5 or 6 boiled eggs so you can eat. Okay? And you're going to be hungry because they don't give you anything. So you got to deal with the kitchen workers. So you come cool with them and give them your stuff that you get. You get like 3 pair of boxers, 3 pair of socks, 3 t-shirts, and you can sell those to get tobacco products. Literally, man. You wrap the tissue up like this in a wick, hang it out the window, and burn it so you can smoke your cigarettes. And it's burning the whole night, all night long. Use a whole roll of tissue. I know y'all probably never heard of this, but I'm telling you so y'all can understand the prison life. This is real. I've been in the depths, in the bottom of the pit. It's no more than where I've been at. Get me? You burn the tissue. You use a whole roll of tissue to keep this lighter burning so you can smoke a cigarette when you want to. Get me? And you use the paper from the tissue that's wrapped around it to roll your tobacco in. And the guys in the kitchen, they give it to you for whatever. You got 2 pair of socks, they give you a couple of cigarettes. You got earrings or whatever you bring through, they'll sell you, they'll take it from you for tobacco. I've been stabbed twice. I've been sent to the infirmary twice. I stabbed a couple of guys, but we can get into that eventually. Like my first day in prison, I went to Ridgeland Correctional Institution in Beaufort, South Carolina. Look it up. Okay. Ridgeland.
I know what Beaufort is. That's what Paris Island is.
Okay. Hilton Head.
Yeah, I know exactly
Beaufort,
what that is.
Savannah.
Yeah, my
Georgia.
family's from South Carolina.
Okay, so Ridgeland is a prison down there.
I vacation in Hilton Head.
You know what it is?
Yeah, I vacation in Hilton Head.
Okay. They got a prison called Ridgeland Correctional Facility. It's a level 2, but it's so bad. At the time, I was 21 and under in this dorm, and everybody else was. So you got to figure a way through this. This 2000, man. This 2025 now. I was a young guy, so I had to make my way through it. I had to fight the biggest guy in the whole dorm. I wanted to. I didn't have to. I wanted to. Just show everybody and my friends that I had heart. Literally. So I had to fight him. I did it because I wanted to. He didn't do anything to me. I started that fight.
But now I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
Because you said you're from Troy, New York.
Troy.
So how did you end up incarcerated in South Carolina?
Remember I told you I ate paint off the wall? I caught lead poison.
Right.
The doctor that I had to see every month was Charleston, MUSC. So we moved from Troy, New York to South Carolina
Okay.
because my dad had family and his mom and dad was in South Carolina, Myrtle Beach,
Okay.
Burgess.
Okay.
And it's closer to Charleston than New York.
Right. Much closer.
So when did you get out?
Out of prison,
Mhm.
2010, April 1st.
Is that when you started rapping?
I actually started rapping in prison.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what I was doing. Like the third year, I didn't know what I was doing, man. I just playing with beats. And because everybody would come in my room and beat on the bed and I'll listen and they'll rap and I'll be like, I like this. They coming up with bars, words, and I was a jack boy growing up. I robbed stores, liquor stores, I tie people up, duct tape around their mouth, put them in the trunk. Before I went to prison now.
Mm-hmm.
So I had like 2.5 years to do this. So that's why I really went to prison for armed robberies, conspiracies, common law robbery, risk of possession. I was robbing all the liquor stores around the neighborhood, all the people, all my friends, cousins. Literally, man. I robbed them. I steal from them. But I was young. I just wanted the money. I didn't think about what would happen in the future. That they would dislike me, or they're going to come for me, or they're not going to love me later. I didn't think about that then. But now I see.
Well, what do you think led you to that lifestyle?
I ain't gonna lie, man. To be honest with you, it's gonna hurt me to say it, but I have to, because you asked me. And we on live. My family didn't give me the love that I wanted in my life. Okay? And I felt like it could have been better.
That's a true statement. That's a powerful statement.
Yes.
Right. It takes a lot to come on in and be honest and be open like that.
I'm a real
nobody.
guy.
And I appreciate that because a lot in this country, it's almost a crime to be vulnerable,
I don't care.
to be honest and to be open. Right. We don't really do that. Right.
We don't.
We show people.
The tough side.
Right. We show. We don't let everybody get in.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So it takes a lot to be open and honest about, what you've been through in your life.
Yes.
And there's one story, that I want to tell you.
Okay.
So when I was I was probably in my 20s, I was in a group called the Nation of Islam.
Mm.
And one day we were in FOI class and the captain walks in. He said, "Hey, brothers." I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "Do you know how a diamond is made?" I had an idea, but a lot of brothers in the class didn't.
Yeah.
He said a diamond starts out as a little black lump of coal, but under years of pressure, it becomes a diamond. So that's us, right? You under that pressure, right? The pressure from the hood, the pressure from the street, the pressure from society, the pressure from racism, all that, right? But what happens is you emerge something different than when you started, right?
Yeah, you emerged that gifted gorilla.
Yeah, you went in, to incarceration, right? As one thing, but you came out something completely different. That's how a diamond is made.
That's exactly pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Pressure bust pipe.
Absolutely.
That's how a diamond is made. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
And I ain't gonna.
And just so people, I just want to ask this question. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, Gifted Gorilla is all right, but I think Chandre, I think that is so cool. That has such a nice flavor, nice ring to it. When you say Chandre, I don't know anyone else with that name.
He said Chandre.
So
we go with that one.
It sounds like it. So if you guys want to go with the Chandre, I think you should. I think that's so much more than appealing than
So go with that one.
a Gifted Gorilla. I'm trying to figure out what the hell a Gifted Gorilla does.
I explained to you.
Right on.
A gifted gorilla. Now you have gorillas that's in the habitat. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They bother people when they come in their section because gorillas known to guard their territory.
Mm-hmm.
They don't bother nobody. They don't leave. They don't bother no one. They stay. And if people come, they protect their territory.
Absolutely.
That's what gorillas do. But a gifted gorilla, nobody never heard of that before. I'm a gifted gorilla. That means I control my surroundings. I control my temper. I control my emotions. I control everything that I do. That's gifted.
So, have you released any albums?
Of course I did, man.
So
I got plenty of music.
How many do you have?
A lot. What you want to hear? You want to hear something?
No, we
Well,
gonna hear something because we got another interview with this young man.
Well, I'd like to know, like, when did you release your first
Song?
album, CD, whatever it is? When was that? And how long after you got out?
I came home 2010
Right.
to be Pacific, April 1st.
Okay.
I recorded something like the next day with
April
my cousin.
2nd.
April 2nd.
Okay.
Yes, with my cousin, but he's a drug dealer. He's in jail, fed now, but he had a studio when I first came home.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I thought it was going to go somewhere, and I'm like, yeah, my cousin's going to bring me to where I need to be at, but he got popped,
Mm-hmm.
and now he's in prison phase right now. I can show you the link and everything. He's in jail from intercoasting from New York to South Carolina. Okay, and it's 4 other guys besides him, but he had the studio first. That's the first track I ever recorded, the first song.
In South Carolina?
South Carolina.
Okay.
Burgess. But when he got locked up, I got with my lady here. Okay. When I got with her, she said, you need to record something different. Go to the studio. No, you sure? She's like, you did that? It sounds good. Why you not go here? So you know what? I'm like, so she invested in me. My lady right here, she invested in me, man. Literally, she had all the heart and dedication that I had, more than I had. And she said, I'll do it.
So you two met in South Carolina.
Yep.
Is that where you're from?
No,
She
I'm
not
from
from
the
there.
Bronx. I grew up in the South Bronx.
She from the Bronx.
Oh, from the Boogie
And
Down.
I am
Yeah.
20 years older than him. I grew
Yeah.
up in our generation, Grandmaster Flash, all that.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how did y'all make the connection?
It just
Oh.
just something happened.
Let me tell you.
It was a weird
Let me tell you.
coincidence. Yeah.
Can I explain it?
Yeah.
She got a niece. Rest
That
in peace.
passed.
She
My niece.
passed away. She was like 17 at the time when I came home from jail. So I'm hungry. I got family in the drug game, and I had a few cousins. The one that went to feds, he gave me a package. As soon as I came home, like this certain day, where you at? I'm at my mom's house, man. I got 2 ounces for you, cocaine. I said, man, I don't want to do that right now. Let me do the weed first. All right, you do the weed, and then you come back to me. So I did the weed the next day. I sold everything, and he was like, yo, I said, got your money, man. Man, I got 2 ounces of coke for you now. Straight.
I don't
I'm
know how
gonna get
long
too
ago that
deep.
was.
I want to get you.
That's a long time.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah, okay. All
That's
right.
a couple years, long time ago.
I don't want you to
2010.
admit to crimes, right? Yeah, but I don't want you to admit to crimes.
I don't care about that because I've been to prison before.
Well, I don't think you want to go back, right?
No.
Nah,
Right,
but
right on. So I would just chill out with the admitting
Okay.
to crimes.
all right. I got you. I'm just wanting to tell the truth though.
Right. I hear you. But,
And-
you can do that.
And
Just
you
be
know what?
careful.
There's so many young people who may be listening who need to hear the truth, Right.
There you go.
who need to understand, right, that making money is cool,
Good.
but what happened when you get locked up?
Oh,
Mhm.
And you talked about your cousin, right? You talked about your cousin. See, I have a cousin, right, who, was running guns between South Carolina and New York.
word.
Yeah. And eventually, ATF
Got it.
started following the trail of guns.
Yeah.
Right? Somebody gonna use one of those guns, and they did in robbery.
To do something.
and they traced it back. And my cousin did 9 years in federal prison, right? So, there's a gritty side that people need to understand, right? So I guess we're gonna have to have you come back
Yeah.
and talk more about your life, because I
Hold
I
on.
see
Hold on.
the
Just
time
sit
we
back
got
right quick.
now.
No, I can't do that.
Can you sit back
I can't do
for
that.
1 second? Let me just break something down. Look, can I say one more thing?
Yeah.
In 1999, I was 15 years old, man.
Mm-hmm.
Just turned 16
Mm-hmm.
in 1999. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I got my driver's license in 2000. I was still
17.
I was 16. Still.
Okay.
Just turned 16. I got
Okay.
my license when I was 15.
Okay.
So it was a permit. So the next year came 16, it was a driver's license. I used to drive for the biggest drug dealer in the city of South Carolina.
Okay, so what we're gonna do here is we're gonna pick this back up a little later on, okay? Because
It's getting deep.
No, as a matter of fact, it's not getting deep. It's just
It's
it's
a bad
time.
thing.
No, it's time for Amazing Amy, and I don't want to cut in too
I'm
much
sorry.
of her time.
I'm not bothering nobody.
No. We
No.
only have an hour show,
Yeah.
and we're getting very, very close to that hour show. But I don't want you to also get yourself in any deeper trouble.
I ain't gonna get in no
good.
trouble.
Okay, we don't need to admit anything at
Hey,
all.
And listen, you hear me?
Past, present, or tense. We're good.
Everything that happened that I'm telling
But
you.
what I
that
would
happened.
like to ask you is,
It's the past.
if people wanted to watch you, where would they look for you at?
Baby, here you go, right here.
So you're on Spotify and other platforms?
Yes, Spotify,
Yeah, I got all these.
iTunes.
I got all these songs right here.
everything. He's on all the platforms.
These dropped in
Gifted
here.
Gorilla.
Gifted Gorilla.
All of them.
And he has a lot of
I
music
got these.
that we're releasing
Yeah.
the next couple of months.
Okay,
Okay,
very
but
good.
they can
Very good.
they can be found on Spotify and most of the social
I
networks.
heard
All the
radio.
social
But
networks.
under the
And
name of
Amazon.
Gifted Gorilla.
Yes,
Yep.
even on Amazon.
I'm gonna go look at some of your stuff tonight.
All right, yeah. Thanks for coming on to the show. We're glad to have you. We always need good friends of the show, and we're just about ready to wrap it up here. Brother Yates, we're gonna have to pick this up next week, and we have to get into more about what's going on in politics.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. But I'm glad to have my man come on. I wanted to bring him on so I can introduce him to you guys. All right. Again, Kendall Stevenson, Dr. Yates, Sean Dre, the
Sean
Gifted
Dre.
Gorilla, and as my girl would always say, you have to be yourself because everybody else is taken. And I always say peace and
Peace.
yeah.